Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dose of Truth Tarot for the week of December 21st to the 27th. So, we release our videos every Thursday as long as life goes well. So, we're in the month, of course, of holidays. So, there's Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas, New Year's Eve. Boxing Day, of course. So lots and lots of holidays this month. So I'm just thinking about everyone around the world. And we're going to look at what our energy is going to be like this week. What do we need? What are the pitfalls we need to look out for? So I put my beautiful golden deck here. I love this gold deck. It's just fun. I like shiny things. That's just the way I am. And we'll see. Let's see what the first card says. I'm not even sure how many cards I'm going to pull out yet. So our first one is Judgment. So Judgment is really about the rebirthing cycle. So you can, almost see the beings coming out of their graves and being reborn. So you can look at different traditions. In the Christian tradition, that would be, going up to the pearly gates, etc. But then we have other traditions where we believe in past lives and, coming back and doing something over again. Of course, um, we are not dead at the moment of listening to this. We are alive. And that means that, okay, so there can be some kind of spiritual rebirth going on. So those of you celebrating holidays, really maybe take into consideration what your holiday is about, what it's really, really about. And, your friends, your family, the people you're with. And if you're on your own, some people like to be on their own. So you might want to just sit back and kind of contemplate what your rebirth is, or what in this case it's judgment. We know this card is called Judgment. The judgment that occurs is really looking back on this year and saying, okay, let me judge and see, what have I done that was good, that was good for me. Have I made any changes? Have I changed the way I approach things? Have I changed the place I come from? Or am I still in the same old? Am I still in my routine, or am I appreciating life? Sometimes people are in their routine. They're like, oh, nothing changes, nothing changes. And yet we know in life, everything's changing all the time, even if you don't notice it. Usually it's our perceptions. So if you think of judgment, your own personal judgment about something could be preventing you from seeing what is occurring all the time. Life is a constant change. The seasons, the days, day turns into night, but our minds will say, it's the same. Everything's the same. Uh, if you're doing that, that's a really terrible thing to be doing. So maybe that's something you need to look at. Or maybe you've stressed yourself. You're doing the same thing over and over again, and you keep going, oh, maybe I need to make a different change in my life. Hey, I brought two change subjects up. So judgment is really a beautiful thing when you use it appropriately to see, okay, what is not working for me? What is maybe my stressors, maybe financial concerns, maybe health concerns. What are the changes I need to make? All right, so the next thing, let's see. Oh, I see this card staring at me. And this is the next thing to be looking at. Oh, okay. So the Judgment card is about these are two major arcana, so that's really quite powerful, especially as we're coming close to the end of the year. Christmas, Hanukkah's uh, has been around. I think it's 12 days of Hanukkah. I'm not great on religious context, but our Jewish friends can help us understand that. And um, when we look at the Hanged Man, this is where this can be very, very, very um, Christian. Well, my understanding of Christianity and the Judeo-Christian tradition. I'm sure it exists in every tradition where we require the making of a proper sacrifice um, to be able to uh, make our lives better, right? So you save some money. That's a sacrifice today for something tomorrow. Yes. You don't eat all your food, so you have food for later. Whatever the proper sacrifice is, or you say, okay, I'm going to work really hard while I'm young. I'm going to, educate myself. I'm going to save money, and then I'll be able to buy a house. I'll be able to make these appropriate sacrifices. So obviously, judgment coming before sacrifice is a very interesting thing, because if our judgment is clear, and usually, I'm sure all of you have heard of the gut brain, right? The gut brain is where we make our decisions. That's where we judge properly. Also, the heart, right? The heart, not heart, and gut brain are the big places where we discern. We make those proper choices. We make the proper judgment of what is good for us and what is bad, and what would be good is to, a sacrifice that you could make today for tomorrow. Yes, a sacrifice you can make today for tomorrow. So it's asking you to review that. Maybe you've made sacrifices you're not supposed to make. And maybe some of the sacrifices you've made are badly judged, right? So some people say, oh, um, I'm going to sacrifice. I'm trying to think of an example. I'm sure you can think of one, like, I'm going to sacrifice my needs for the needs of someone else. And I'm not saying that, the cards don't say that you must uh, sacrifice or not sacrifice for others, but you must make sure you understand, the line drawn in judgment of where that sacrifice needs to be made. You don't want to sacrifice your health for someone else. You don't want to sacrifice what you need. Yet, parents in the past, when there were eras of starvation, the mother would often sacrifice um, food and give it to their children and give it to the husband, because he was able to bring home. He was the one out working and able to bring home the bacon. Those kinds of things. So it's really the proper discernment of what to sacrifice to make. Okay, especially considering we are not alone on the planet. So it's hard sometimes. This is the one, this card over here is kind of pulling at me. Oh my goodness, another major arcana. All right, so we've got massive multi-dimensional shift. You couldn't have asked for, you know, more apropos types of cards for this time of year as we come to the close of the year. We start to reassess things. And the star has a lot to do with making our wishes, right? We can make a beautiful, innocent wish, and there is also this triad together. What I love about the three of them is that proper judgment for proper sacrifice will also, but is also very well in tune with the idea that we play, or each individual plays a starring role within their own lives. So this requires a lot of discernment, right? So I almost predicted it from this card of what was going to be said next, because the way I was reading this card was you've got to make those proper sacrifices, that also are not ones that will cause you difficulty. You don't want to hurt yourself, or deprive yourself too much. You could deprive yourself a little bit if you want to help your child out. Like if I'm sick and my child's sick, I play the starring role in my life, so I may uh, sacrifice, taking sleep and rest for myself so that I could help my child out. That could be my choice. Some people don't. That's fine too. You might have somebody, a helper, come in or whatever. It's obviously I'm giving a situation with a parameter. Let's say I have no helper. I'm out in the bush, in a cabin, and there's nobody around. We both get sick. I'll probably, sit up with my child. I'll probably be holding my child. I will probably be, going to get the tea and the lemon and the honey for my child and myself, but I will be making more of a sacrifice. I think that would help some parents understand that you don't just give up everything, all of your health, but you will give up certain things because that's what you feel is correct. Anyway, these are choices that you make. I'm just giving you ideas so you understand a little bit of how these cards work. Ultimately, it's your decision on what you need to do. Now, the star card, the way I describe it, is not narcissistic. Please note, it is not narcissistic. This is playing the starring role in your life, but also understanding everyone else plays a starring role in their lives, right? So that means I can say no to someone and they're going to be fine with it because they're playing a starring role in their own life. They're not trying to star in my life. If someone is trying to star in my life, and they're the star of everyone's life, then we're approaching narcissism, where they're going to be upset when you've said no. So these are very, very beautiful cards, and obviously I can go on forever and probably went on too long. So please note, this week is a huge week to reassess. Look at the sacrifices you need to make and sacrifices you may need to stop making. Are you playing the starring role in your life? And maybe do you expect others to put you as the star in their lives? Right? Those are interesting questions we can ask ourselves. All right, and just to have a better life, a better time, and a beautiful new year that's coming really close. Let's see what comes up next week. I thank you for listening, and please like, subscribe, and share my video. That really helps me out. You can also let your friends know that they have this reading available. If you have any comments, questions, please leave them, and maybe I'll find them. There's a lot of platforms, so you can always go to my website, leurbanretreat.com, and write comments. I post it there too. All right, have a great day. Happy holidays. Bye.